Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to BB's Customs. I'm Rich, and today I'm going to be wrapping the exhaust. Okay, so this is the kit I've ordered to wrap the exhaust in. I got this off of Amazon. If I just zoom in on there, you can see what it is. I will put a link for it in the description of the video below, if you're interested in having a look. In this, you get 5 meters of exhaust wrap, a pair of gloves. I've been playing already, so they're not in the box. A set of like steel cable ties. I just tried to put one together to see just how good the grip they are, and that is in there by about 5mm, and I cannot pull it apart. So I'm going to have to use that one at an end somewhere, so I can just slip it on the end of the pipe and pull it all nice and tight. But yeah, I was surprised by how good this is. Once there's some real force on there, we'll have a look and see what it's like. So that's the wrap. In preparation for the wrapping, up here I have taken off and sprayed the exhaust, so that's all up there ready to be wrapped. It's been drying for about 2 hours now, so it should be totally fine to do. You can just see the rear mudguard in the back as well there. The paint I use for that is this stuff. It's just some High Coat Extreme VHT black. It is good for up to 650 degrees Celsius. Now if my exhaust gets up to 650 degrees, I'd be surprised. So this paint should be more than adequate. I mean, it's not really going to be doing anything because the exhaust is stainless anyway, so it's purely there just to, protect it a little bit, give it an extra layer, because every little bit helps. It is a hard wearing component. So first job, I'm going to use this and dry wrap the exhaust first, just so I can gauge how much wrap I'm going to need. Okay, so the joys of having a 2-in-1 exhaust manifold is starting off the wrap is really easy, because you've just got a single pipe, and wrapping that is no problem at all. Once you get up to here and it splits into two, it's going to be a bit tricky. So my plan at the moment is I'm going to wrap it all the way around up to here, and as it starts to come round into like this Y area here, I'm going to get a second piece of wrap and start it coming the other way, and use the original one to hold that down, carry on up the one manifold, and then use the second wrap to come up the other. So what you should get is, it should look like a nice continual wrap. The reason why I'm starting down at this end first is because as you wrap it up, I'm not sure how much difference it's going to make, to be honest, but it means that as the wraps go up, each wrap coming up is going to kind of lock down the one before it. So once we get up to the top, a tie around there and a tie around there should hold the whole thing together all nice and smart. And because of the way, if you imagine it being like fish scales, it's all going to be like in line with the way the bike's going, so any rain and dirt and grit and stuff like that is hopefully going to hit the wrap and bounce off rather than get stuck in there. If you imagine running your hand down a fish or anything like that, it's nice and smooth one way, and coming back the other way is horrible and jagged. Well, that's basically what the wraps are going to do on the exhaust. So like I said, we'll wrap it up dry first, measure how much wrap we need, plus a little bit just for the safe side, and then we'll soak it in water and do it for real. Okay, also the reason why we wear gloves doing this is because this stuff behaves an awful lot like fiberglass, and I don't know if you've ever had fiberglass in your skin before, but it's horrible. It itches, it beds itself in there, and it can really irritate your skin. So put your gloves on. Right, so I know that the muffler is going to come onto here by about 3 inches, so I'm just going to I'm going to clamp this onto here somewhere around there, because I know it's not going to be that much of an issue. because the muffler is going to be sorting that out anyway. And we are just going, so as you wrap, I mean I'll show you better once I've got a bit further down, you kind of want to overlap by about half the width of the exhaust wrap itself. I mean obviously that's a little bit trickier going around corners, but you want to try and keep it nice and tight. It does conform a little to where you need it to go. But it's like anything, the neater you make it, the easier it is to sort out any little kinks or issues you may find yourself with. I'm just going to make it all nice and snug around here. Okay, so that's one side. Do I have any scissors in here? No, I don't. So we shall chop that there. Give it a little bit more for spare as well. Okay, so that is one length. Let's just tuck that into there to keep that out of the way. So then the other length, this will be tucked underneath the original one, somewhere around there, and it's going to come out wrap around there. Okay, so about there, plus a bit more for good luck. Cut that off there. Oh no! Got the wrong. Ugh. Okay, so that's roughly how much we need. More than what we need, but that's a good thing because it's better to have too much than not enough. So I'll unwrap all of this, get it into a bucket, soak it, and then fingers crossed in about half an hour or so we'll be back putting it back on. Okay, so I've had the wrap soaking in this little bucket, just normal water in there for the best part of half an hour now. So the reason why you soak it is it doesn't loosen up the fibres, but when they get the heat in them from the engine running, it sort of shrinks it and tightens it up. So if you wrap it nice and tight with the wet wrap, when it dries, it sort of cinches up on itself and makes it that much better. So fingers crossed, we'll get it all on. I got to make sure to leave enough gap at the muffler end so that the muffler can fit on, and then yeah, we'll have something which looks pretty reasonable at the end of it. Fingers crossed. Right, so the way you start this, I'm going to start it about here to give me that much room for the muffler to come on. So I am going to fold this over at about 30 degrees, like that. Get that on there and do one wrap. No, I've done that the wrong way. Ignore that. Completely ignore what I just said. That way. Like that. And do one wrap. And then once that is held in place, like that, let's just neaten that up a little. We are going to, keeping it nice and tight, slip this onto here. That's going to go on there, like that. So if I zoom you right in on what I'm doing, I've got the loose end here. I'm going to cut the excess off, because we don't need that. Oh, I wonder if they'll cut it. Yes, right. Cut the excess off. And we are going to wrap these around the nose of the pliers, like this. And then as we get closer to where the crimp is, here, as we do that, we are going to pull that through nice and tight. Like that. And then when we pull that out, that is just super tight. We like that a lot. So we'll do the same for the second one. You don't necessarily have to put two on, I just am, because, you know, as with most things, more is better. So cut the excess off, like that. Probably ruining my other half scissors. She'll tell me off for that later. Pull that nice and tight. And there we go. Right. That's not going anywhere. So now we can use that to nicely wrap this nice and snug. Okay, so if I move all this out of the way, so you can see, now that we've reached the Y area, I'm going to need to clamp this here with something. What have I got? Just going to wrap a little bit of this around it. Going to have to kind of re-tie it as we go anyway. That will just... oh, that's terrible. Screw it, we'll sort that out in a minute. We're now going to get the second roll. Let me just reposition you so you can see better. Okay, so the second roll, just going to trim up the end again to make it neat. Like that. Now, the first roll, we're going to want to go around the top pipe we've got here. The second roll, I want to come around the bottom. So I need to feed this through here. Just going to back this off a couple turns. I want to feed this through here like that. Doesn't have to be overly neat. And then as we rewrap the outer one, to cover it like that. Now to secure this, I am going to put another tie around here. Oh, so you can see around here, just to hold that secure. Let's have all these go in the same way, so that needs to go that way. This is where having an extra pair of hands would really come in handy. So again, we're going to cut the excess off. Oh, shit. Sorry, bad language. Like that. Oh, look at that, I stuck a hole in there then. Never mind, we'll cover that. Do the trick with the pliers. Okay, so now we'll ignore the bottom one and we'll carry on with the longer top one, wrap it all the way up around here and then carry on with the bottom. Okay, so this is one side done. Oh, hang on, let me just nip that up from there. The exhaust clamp got in the way. Right, so that's one side. Let's do the other side now. Right, so there you go. One fully wrapped, nice and protected exhaust. You can see all the different layers going down here. Everything goes in the same direction. This bit down here came out really well, so I'm very pleased with that. So we'll get it back on the bike and then give her a start up. Right, so she's back on, all nice and secure. We'll start it up. Now what's going to happen is, because this is still waterlogged and it's the nature of this stuff anyway, the first couple of times you turn it on, it's going to smoke a lot. It's not going to catch fire or anything, it's going to look pretty hectic, but you just got to wait for that to burn off and then it'll be fine. Just open up the door. So another good thing about the exhaust wrap is that what it's for is it's meant to keep the gases from the exhaust hotter for longer so they flow faster. But that also means it keeps the heat inside the pipe. So this is still running, as you can probably hear. It's been running for a good 10 minutes, so this exhaust should be really hot. But because it's got this on, you can put your hand on it and it's not really much of an issue. Same as back here where your leg is, you can hold on to that really tight. No problem at all. Okay guys, that's well, that's how you wrap an exhaust. It's not an exact science, nothing I do with an exact science. I just sort of play around with it and hope it turns out alright. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how you think it looks. I think with this on, it looks the part of what the bike's meant to be. It's a bit more rugged, it's a bit more used, I think. It's the sort of look you want. I'm not trying to make something which looks brand new, fresh out the shop. I'm trying to make something which looks like it's mechanically sound, bit cobbled together, not a full-on rat bike, but yeah, well, you know what I mean. But it's getting there. I like this a lot. This came out really well. It's nice and tight. So yeah. Next stop will be mounting the front fender back on. It's just resting on here at the moment. It's not actually attached to anything. I need to cut it down to size. I'll also show you some bits I've been working on the back with regards to how the fender's fitted around the indicators. I've got the indicators wired in now, and some additional supports for the seat because I realised it was giving a bit of flex, so I've sorted that out as well. But that's all for next time. I shall catch you then. I hope you're all keeping safe. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.